I'm heavenly shielded, from trauma to healed. Faith is my armor, God is my shield.
In this powerful episode, a 45-year-old speaker opens her heart about overcoming childhood trauma, losing her father young, and surviving a devastating accident that left her paralyzed. Through faith, counseling, and the unwavering support of her family and friends, she transformed her pain into purpose by creating Heavenly Shielded, a platform where trauma becomes testimony.
Last year, I went through a traumatic experience of me being in the hospital, being hospitalized, going through a lot of trauma with it. And I mentioned on my last post yesterday about, me dealing with different health anxieties and trauma from that experience. But I found out from my psychiatrist that it's not just from last year's experience of me being in the hospital. It's a build-up of different traumas that has been, accumulated over the years to where my fight or flight response, it stays high, elevated. So that's why I went ahead and said, you know what, I talked to a counselor and I realized I need to start, letting go some of this trauma. Which is why I also created the page Heavily Shielded so that I can start talking about the traumas that are really testimonies, if you want to be honest. And maybe my testimonies can help other people. I want to do this podcast to, talk to other people about their traumas too. You know what I'm saying? And you never know how your story, your trauma turned testimony can help somebody else. And today's my birthday, so what a great way to start by talking about my born day. I actually have a wonderful mother, and we do. My mother is amazing. Has she been perfect? No. She's made many mistakes. But some of my trauma stems from my actual birth, if that makes sense. We grew up with both parents, but our dad passed away. I was 13, and she was 9. Let me back up a little bit. My mom had 4 kids. I'm the oldest. We have another sister in the middle. She's the third oldest, and we had a brother. He was the youngest, and he passed away when 2011. He was 25. That's another trauma, but that's another story. So in regards to my born day, and this is why I brought that up is because my mom had 4 kids and I'm the oldest like that. So we grew up with our dad most of our life until he passed away in 93. I was 13 and she was 9. With that being said, he was my Superman, if that makes sense. Like, we talked to him the night before he died. He called us crying. I'm not going to go into too many details, but he was an amazing dad. They should say that. So we talked to him the day before he died, and he let us know that he loved us. So found out a few months after that a family member told me that he was not going to live. And I needed to ask my mom who my real dad is. And I can't even describe to you how that made me feel. I felt lost, if that makes sense. I felt like I didn't know anything at this point. I think that was just so traumatic, man. And I had, as a 13-year-old, I had to go back and ask my mom, like, Mom, I was told that my dad is not my real dad. And she got really upset. And she told me, she was like, that was for her to tell me, she was upset about it. But she did tell me, yes, your dad is not your real dad. You have your biological dad lives life. Me being truthful, it hurt. I don't like really going into a lot of details because of the trauma is so hurtful, but I feel like in order for me to heal, I do need to just get it off my chest. You know, 'cause my mom told me that I was a product of a rape. And anyway, she told me I was probably raped. So I don't even belong here. I felt lost. I felt like I didn't belong here. That's not even trying. It just hurt me to find it out. And the more I found out, the more I kept telling myself, I'm not supposed to be here anyway. You know what I'm saying? I literally told myself, I never told anybody. I never told nobody. Just felt like I didn't belong here anyway. Because I was supposed to be here. So every time I kept saying I wasn't supposed to be here, God showed me something different though, if that makes sense. A lot of people say, oh, well, you've been through so much in your life, all these tragedies keep happening to you. And I don't look at it like that, because I look at it as God has been there. He showed me so many times that I'm supposed to be here. The trauma started then, and I do want to find my real dad. I do want to figure out. I do want to talk to him, because last year was a wake up call for me. When I got hospitalized, everybody was like, the doctors, nurses, hey, what's your family history? What's your family history? I don't know. My dad, I've never met him before. I know he lives in Iowa. I saw a picture of him before. I know I got 3 siblings from him. And I know nothing about him, except for my mom showed me one picture of him when she went to go find him years back. This was years back. And so this is something I need to know, because it was embarrassing. It was traumatized. I couldn't tell the doctors nothing last year when they asked me. Anytime they asked me, well, what's your family history? I don't know. My dad, I've never met him before. I never talked to him before. I'm 45 years old and don't know anything on my dad's side. And my mom was adopted. She just located her family, a few years ago. And it's like, I don't know too much about that either. So before last year, I didn't really even care about knowing my dad, even talking to him. I didn't even care. But like now that I think about it, now that I went through that health scare, I think I should. And I have 5 kids that I gave birth to that need to know, you know what I'm saying, what's in their blood as well. So other traumas came right after that. The next thing was the school bus that flipped over in my senior year. I'm going to talk about that more, but that was a trauma for me. The bus driver was late to a field trip. This is for Bird. The bus driver was late for a field trip, and, you know, she was rushing. It was cold, rainy. I remember it was November 13th, 1997, because it was the day after my brother's birthday. His birthday, November 12th. And that day changed my life. The school bus flipped over going 60 miles an hour down I-49 on 3132. And I remember blacking out, and I ended up going to the hospital. I'm going to talk about this in my testimony, but I'm just giving you a brief of some of the things I will be talking about. But I remember I had a compression fracture in my spinal cord. I had broken collarbones, broken ribs. Like, I was in a wheelchair for a long time. I was paralyzed from the neck down. And I went from being totally independent to having to depend on somebody to do everything for me. And this time I was 17. I was in the time of my life. I was my senior year. I was doing everything. And they told me I would never walk again. because of the extensive damage on my spinal cord. And then I was finding blood. Nothing was working. My ovaries, none of that stuff was working. And they told me I would never have kids. I remember going to church in my wheelchair after I got out the hospital and just giving everything to God. Because I said, this can't be it. This can't be the final say. It took a long time, but I had to learn how to walk again. Like, I ended up learning how to walk, and it was nothing but God. And as you can tell, I just said I have 5 kids. So sometimes God, let's just say this, God has the last word, okay? That's just one testimony. But I have so many testimonies that deal with healing that. That's why I said go to Him with the Shielded page. I'm going to start uploading videos of different testimonies. And I'm going to talk to other people about their testimonies. Because you never know how your story is going to help. But that trauma built it up over the years. You know what I'm saying? There's so many other things that happened. And then probably about 4 years ago, I know I just went into my last story about my car getting, my SUV getting shot up in a gang shootout. I had over 10 bullets in my car, and I had 2 of my kids in the vehicle with me. And that was nothing but the mercy and grace of God. Listen, I'm gonna share all this stuff on the page. So I guess my next step right now is to start getting more answers, more closures to these questions. And the outcome is my biological dad. My real dad has been gone since 33. And that's my dad regardless, because he never treated me no different. That man loved me and never treated me no different. But my biological dad, I found out. My sister went looking for him, and he's in jail currently. So I still want to find out who my siblings are. What name did you look up to find out? Was it I found out named after him. Zuniga Mosley McGee. I think his last name is Zuniga. It's opposite. His first name is Furtado, and his last name is Zuniga. Yeah. I got a picture of him, but I want to know more about if I care about what happened. That's what, you know what I'm saying? I care, but I think at this point, I just want answers to my family history. And my siblings, if they want to meet with me, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I would like to meet them and let them know they have some nieces and nephews. But it's mainly just to get answers. I'm not here to try to, dog him out and make him look bad in regards to what he did. That's something he has had to live with, you know what I'm saying? And answer to God for. But I do want to reach out to my siblings and see if they want to, I'm at the point now. I went through that traumatic experience last year. I need to know about my family history. I want to know if they want to meet with me. I have no problem with them. I would love to meet them. You know what I'm saying? That'll be part of closure that I need. I've always had that in the back of my mind. And it wasn't until last year when I went through that traumatic experience at the hospital when I realized I need to know more, if that makes sense. So I'm going to put all that aside, all that trauma. I don't know their names. I don't know anything about them. But I am going to work on that. And I'm going to keep everybody moving whenever I do find them. And talk to me. I don't know their names, nothing like that, right? We don't know anything. I just got pictures. My mom went out there a couple of years ago. Oh, I want to say about 10 years. It's about 15 years.
No, it's before they're done.
So that's about, 15 years ago? 17 years ago? A long time ago. I had already had 4 kids by then. And she went out there to let him know that he had a daughter and he had grandkids. And I found out he doesn't speak English. He's Mexican. So I don't know how we will communicate. But through me. Yeah, my sister, everything. Next sign language and everything, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So what now?
I was saying they got the app and the little translator earbuds.
But this is more. I'm gonna talk to more family members. I'm gonna talk to my mom and give her more answers. And I don't blame my mama for anything because at the end of the day, she did what she had to do. You understand? She tried her best. It wasn't easy taking care of 4 kids. And when she got pregnant with me, I found out it was a lot for her. When she came out here, she didn't know anybody. You know, for a while, she slept in a car with me until somebody took me in. And that's why I want to talk more. I want to be able to, you know, find this information out, get more closure to the answer. And this is going to be part of my process, part of my dealing with it. And, you know, it's coming. So, once again, today's my birthday. Happy birthday. It's been a couple times in the struggle. Like I said, I've been dealing with health anxiety. I've been dealing with, you know, different things, but I do talk to a therapist now. And I am working on bringing my fight or flight down some, so it's not a cycle. Because when you have health anxiety, you feel every sensation in your body. And it's a cycle. Those sensations cause anxiety. That anxiety contributes to the heart palpitations and other, you know, sensations and stuff. So I'm working on the medication. It's helping bring my blood pressure down. It's helping bring that my fight or flight down, response down, and I'm going to start talking. So if y'all like and follow Heavenly Shielded, and I can start just talking about different things, talking about testimonies. I'm being interviewing family members, friends, you know, different people. They have gone through life changing experiences where God has heavily shielded them. Because like I said, if you have a story, tell it. Tell your story, upload it to Heavenly Shielded, hashtag Heavenly Shielded. You never know how your story can help somebody else. So with that being said, I need to just go enjoy the rest of my birthday. But that's something I want to do. I want to reach out and find out who the rest of my people is. So that's just one part of my feeling. So thank you to everybody that wished me happy birthday and much love.